and friend of all things Outlander. The story of Outlander can release you to experience comfort. I need comfort too. I'm Jenny from Jenny Wells Reads, and I believe discovering a good story helps us live a good story. So many of us in the Outlander fandom exclaim, Outlander has changed my life, and I am right there with you. But what does that mean? My work as a bookstore owner, a speaker, and a teacher is about helping you get specific. How have you been changed? Why do these characters and stories matter so much to us? Season 2, Episode 7. Claire and Jamie lose their baby, Faith. There's so much that we could talk about from this episode. What I want to focus on is how the religious imagery plays a part in this episode, because Claire goes through something really awful, right? She loses her baby. Jamie is nowhere to be found. He totally is not there for her. And there's so much that happens in Claire's faith journey through this part of the story. And yes, this is going to end up being a way that we can talk about how you can be comforted. Now, I'm not going to be cliche here. That is not my jam. There are lots of ways to be comforted. But what I see in this part of the story is that Claire's journey to somehow find that comfort is pretty rich with a lot of religion and spirituality. So let's start with Mother Hildegard. She baptizes the baby. She names her Faith. She wants her to be buried in consecrated ground. And she admits to Claire, she says, this is between you, me, and God. But it can only go so far. And I found it really fascinating that kind of her, I'm going to say apprentice, I'm sure that's not what it's called in the Catholic Church, says that the Madonna, represented by this statue, will comfort you. Well, the Madonna statue shatters, falls to the ground, shatters, and it's hollow. There's something there. There's something there that the writers of the story are wanting to communicate. To Claire, that's empty. There's no comfort there. So what happens? Master Raymond shows up. Master Raymond, who the king is suspicious of because Master Raymond believes in the dark arts. The king wants to kill Master Raymond. But what does Master Raymond do? He heals Claire. Now, this is fascinating. There's so much talk about color in this episode. And I'm wearing blue for a reason. There's so much richness in Claire as the Madonna, surrounded in the color of blue, versus when she's the White Witch, supposedly surrounded with light and white. But who does the king let her come into his most intimate places? Claire as the White Witch. And the emptiness in her performance, meaning Claire's performance, not Katrina's, there's just like such a disconnect about Claire's heart in that whole Star Chamber thing. She is the Madonna. When she loses Faith, she thinks, no, I'm not. My sins are all I have left. I mean, they're giving her last rites. She's going to die. She's going to die alone. She's going to die without Faith. She's going to die without Jamie. But what happens? She goes home with her utter grief. And you guys, I wish I had time to go into it with you about all that happens when she returns home. But the important thing is that she is able to be a mother to Fergus. And when I watch that episode, it just kills me every time when she has to comfort Fergus. And the thing is, it says in there that she was gone for weeks. So Fergus lived with his belief that it was his fault that Jamie was in the Bastille and Claire lost her baby. Can you imagine how much weight he was carrying all by himself? But in that moment, Claire is able to free him and heal him from that. How maternal. How maternal is that? Jamie's gone for all that, right? But when he comes home and they face that incredible pain towards each other and with each other, and they get through it, she slept with the king to get Jamie's pardon and to let him go home to Scotland free. Take me home to Scotland. And then she gets to visit Faith's grave with Jamie. He lays that spoon on the grave of St. Andrew, the patron saint of Scotland, and the patron saint of mothers who need to be comforted. Hello. Their spoon set will never be complete. Comfort can be hard to come by. And if we restrict ourselves and say, well, it can only come through my paradigm of a religious faith. Claire didn't have a lot of religious faith. She's open to what Master Raymond can do. She's willing to go down that journey with Mother Hildegard. She accepts and receives from Jamie and his Catholic faith. And the king, who's trying to scourge France from all these dark arts, can give her really nothing. Where can we find our comfort?